Back, hopefully. Let's see if we're back. Oh, there's Scott. Why did I not hear that sound? That's making me nervous. Let me see. Facebook. Okay, we're back. Okay. Scott's back. Good. We're live too, by the way.
Okay.
I'm just gonna leave it live.
Sorry.
So mess with
All the dudes are paying me like for golf right now, so I'm just like,
all the dudes playing the skins.
yeah. I wish it was that.
This is bugging me. We don't have the rectangles. I like the rectangles. Like, give me the option for rectangle. What's this? Oh, dude, you got to pay extra for that? We pay extra. I should be getting that. Shouldn't have to upgrade. I pay. Something's not right. We are on a premium plan. I think it doesn't have me down as a premium user.
Well, they better fix that.
They better. I'm not gonna.
Oh my god! I totally would have came to the graduation. Congratulations, though. That is so awesome.
Oh yeah! Congratulations! Yeah, it is graduation season.
Yeah, it's been graduation. Like, it's funny. Like, normally it falls on Mother's Day too, so it's all sorts of hectic. You know, it's like prom, Mother's Day, and MSU graduation usually like all in the same weekend. It's bananas. But Mother's Day is late this year. But congratulations, Maggie. That is awesome. I totally would have been there.
That is awesome. I know she's been like always telling us how she's been studying and stuff. There we go.
So I don't know if you saw that story like earlier this week. So like James Harden invited one of like the shooting victims from the MSU thing to the Sixers game today.
I didn't see it.
Like courtside seats, and I just got an alert. Like he hit like the game-winning three, and like he signed his shoes and like gave it to like the student, which I thought was kind of cool too.
That is super cool. Oh my god, that's perfect.
But that's awesome, Maggie. Congratulations. Sorry I missed you. I totally would have came out.
That's cool.
What's up, Wade? Congratulations on a.
Was it a half? I didn't even ask. Was it
half today?
Lincoln Cornhusker. They should have that inflatable mascot guy chase you for the whole 13 miles. Their mascot guy. What's his name? Do you know? Corny?
I don't. But yeah.
Husky.
Reading Maggie's comment there, I would have been in tears hearing that. But very, very nice tribute indeed.
Absolutely.
Little Red.
Little Red, that's right. I knew that.
I like corny though. Or whatever you were saying.
Husky, corny. Husky. What kinds of ways you could go with that? Okay, why isn't this deleting?
I hope Wade recognizes my art behind my shoulder today, though.
Hang on, I'm gonna look. One or more files is actively processing. Well, I don't want it to process. I just want it to delete.
Yeah, Little Red sounds like it should have been retired.
I think Little Red was in Kilimanjaro Safaris.
Okay, what? I don't know.
Okay, hang on.
I never got to see that storyline.
Are you sure you want to continue? You never saw that?
I might have saw like on our first trip, and then they like changed it like right after.
Please cancel these. Okay, hang on. One or more files are actively processing jobs. Please cancel these jobs or wait for them to finish. I just want you. I gotta stop it. That's what I gotta do. Duh. Okay, there. I'm a dummy. I was recording at the same time. I can't believe you never saw that. Yeah, I mean,
I think I did. Thinking back, I think I did the first like couple times, but then they changed the storyline. Like I miss hearing like that song. Like I have the audio file.
I know, me too. I used to love when that song came on the radio station.
And you would hear it like on the bus sometimes too on your way to Animal Kingdom, and it would like get me so psyched. Well, I mean, you still hear it though on Radio Harambe, which is great. Babu doo doo, babu boo doo doo. That's the jam. I missed that.
My video is overdriven. I have no idea how to fix that. So we're just worried about the audio for tonight because I had a hard enough time getting the audio going. So we're gonna go with it.
Yeah, you're like reversed, like it's backwards for you today. Like
I'm backwards.
I think so. It's
It's
like your
all
on air is backwards. Like everything is like reverse. Like it's mirrored.
see, usually it looks backwards, like to me, but it on the video feed it looks normal. I think something's not processing right.
Yeah, it looks backwards to me.
Hmm. Oh well. Hey, Swansea searchers at Pop Century. We'll do the best we can for tonight. Because tonight's kind of a wreck. But so what do we have in the news? Because Ricky has not given us much.
That's right.
news.
Maggie would know about the Kilimanjaro safari. That's right.
Right.
The speaking break, kind of like how you get that on Jungle Cruise too, when you go through like the cave.
Yes. Yes.
There's no news.
I can't think. I mean, the only thing I know of is that they added they added like a jazz bar to the Disney Magic.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Because it just came out of dry dock.
I mean, there's some Florida versus Disney news, which I'm sure you don't want to talk about.
I don't even want. Dude, everybody's talking about that. Like, it is what it is. I mean, I'm not smart enough to even know. And the thing is, like, I just don't know. You know,
I know you don't like to talk about it.
I don't like talking about it because I like talking about the more vacation-y stuff. Like, it's just I try to keep it to the toy store stuff.
Talk a little podcast cruise. Maybe the cruise lines they launched the 25th stuff.
Yeah, we can talk about that. That'd be good. That'd be good.
It's interesting. Like, we can talk about it. Actually, I'll share what I was gonna say. Got to save it for the show, right?
Let's do it. All right. Hey, it's almost 6, so we'll get started. I'm glad we have so many people. Oh, I need to tweet out that we're doing a show. That way we can actually get some more people in here, and we can get started. God, I can't believe the Cardinals actually won a game today. Feel so much better.
Man, we blew it. I mean, we had the sweep.
I mean, I think we're gonna win a game again. We were.
Yeah. Me and my brother were listening to the game driving back from golf.
Yeah,
we had to take shelter today. I haven't done that in a long time on a golf course.
Was storming?
Yeah, it was lightning and thundering. Like on the second hole, so it's like 8 a.m. We're on the second green. Like I can't even see like Jake and my brother. Like it is so dark outside. Like I couldn't even see them.
Oh man, I was working with a guest today from Michigan. I was like, I bet it looked like it was a beautiful day. Scott was playing golf.
I mean, it turned around. Yeah.
We are live for tonight's BOGP Open Line. Right. She's probably like, he's drunk. Facebook.
Yeah, it was crazy this morning. Well, yeah, I mean it's sunny and 75 right now, but it wasn't when we golfed.
It's 91 here right now. It is.
Oh wow.
I know. We are taking your call.
So what did the Cardinals give Cabrera? It looked like it was like a photo of like his 400th homer or something.
Yeah, okay. And we gave him a check for $3,500 for his charity, dude. That is so cheap. That is so cheap.
Dude, that's what everyone's doing now. It's all been cheap. Like, I don't get it. I wonder if there's like a rule or something.
I hope for the sake of God. Like, we should have given the guy like 24,000 or something. You know what I'm saying? Like,
for his number.
His number 35. I'm like, no, it's 24. But I mean, we should have given him 24.
I want to say there's another team like the Mets. No, do we play the Mets? No, we played the Mets at home. They still maybe gave him something. I don't know. One team like it was like $2,000. I was like, what is that?
Dude, Cardinal fans on Twitter were destroying the organization over that. They're like $3,500 where they find it, the couch cushions.
Yeah. Now I'm curious, like what we did for pool holes. Like I want to look back and see what the Tigers did.
He got some good stuff.
Maybe they matched what we did.
Dude, I was embarrassed. I mean, the picture was super cool. They gave him a picture because he had his 400th home run against Bush.
Yeah. That was cool. Yeah. Yeah, you think you could donate a little more to the
I know. Charity. That's what I said, dude. I mean, I was like, no, come on. Hang on, I gotta type this up. I can't type and talk because they got
Cabrera's like, that's what I make like.
He makes more than that in a bat.
Per out.
All ball makes that. Exactly. I was so embarrassed. I was like, does that really say 3,500 on the big check?
I want to say though, like, I'm gonna look it up, but there's another team that gave less, I even think. Which is crazy to think.
By the Royals.
Dang, like I'm having that delay. I know maybe it's fine now. Okay.
And Disney Cruise. I just signed up for Dopey yesterday. Last night. Because
you mean like you had like the link?
I did a charity. Yeah, because I did a charity. I was like, I wonder if I'm ever gonna get that.
I was talking to Wade on Friday and I was like, I kind of wish I would have done Goofy instead because I do kind of like the full marathon.
Oh, dude, I don't really, but I'm in, so whatever.
I don't like the idea of it. What I do is like when I'm out there though, like I'm like, this is kind of fun. Like it's brutal, but
I'm the opposite of you. Once I'm out there, dude, I'm like, oh, this is
like I always have a smile on my face. Like it's pain, but it's just like maybe it's because I don't train for it. And I mean, knock on wood, I've been lucky that I've been able to finish and not train like the last 3 times, but maybe that's why. It's just like I didn't go through the pain.
I didn't train enough last year, and I'm training. Like I had to buy a new motor for my treadmill. Saturday.
Yeah.
And it should be coming in a week because it's.
I trained today, man. Like on the golf course, and then we played disc golf afterwards, which was like a super hilly course. Like, dang, I put my work in today.
Dude, I need
that's why I told you when I got home. Like, I'm beat. I was so tired.
I wish you lived down here because I need somebody to play disc golf. I love disc golf, and I haven't played that since. I probably haven't played that in 10 years. I used to play it all the time.
I'm terrible at it, but it's fun. But there's a thing. Yeah, I'm just not really good at the things I like to do, but I like to do many things.
I hear you. You're getting a lot of stuff. You're like, hey, you just got to do them all the time. Yeah. Wade's right. Len does a good job with the Reedy Creek stuff. So I leave it because he's in Mensa. Like, I just know some people are. I'm not going to mess with it, dude. That dude's way smarter than I am, and he knows a lot of lawyer people. I don't, and I'm not that smart. So leave it to the.
He's got Bricker in his back pocket, I think.
He knows a lot of guy. Like, yeah, exactly. I know where. I know. Stay in your lane, right? Is that what they say? I got it. Okay, so let's do this. All right, I think we're set. Jeez, it's like mission control in here. I swear, it's so complicated. Got wires.
It's easy for me, man. You send me a link, I plug in.
For real. Right now, they're doing the ring ceremony for a football team.
Like when you ask me, like, "Oh man, do you think you can record?" I'm just like, honestly, it's just the time. Like all I gotta do is just plug in.
I want to always make it easy on you guys. It should always be easy. It should be harder on me. 100%. Okay, here we go. Yeah. I see. Like Wade, I'm with you, dude.
I do have an answer for Scott's question. I don't know if you want to leave it on the show though.
Let's do it. Yeah, because actually he asked it last week and we didn't get to it. Okay. I meant to ask it. So here we go. I need to change this though, so I'm not on Twitter. Okay. Well, hey, everybody. Welcome to the BOGP Open Line for Sunday night, May 7th, 2023. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BRGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior. I'm going to start this over because that is way too hot. Otherwise, that will kill people's ears on Thursday. I don't know why that was so loud. Take 2, people. Here we go. Well, hey, everybody. Welcome to the BOGP Open Line for Sunday night, May 7th, 2023. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BOurGuestPodcast.com. And, of course, one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Sunday night to you. Hope you had a great weekend here, the first full weekend of May, which in my old hometown of Florissant, Missouri, where I grew up, this is the Valley of Flowers weekend, where everybody comes back home. We have a big festival. We have rides today on the first full Sunday of May. We have a big parade. Didn't go to it this year. I know it's sad. Ricky and I would go to it every year growing up, but it is Valley of Flowers for all those who celebrate in Florissant. Hope you had a great festival, but and hope everybody else is doing well this great first weekend of May. But we're going to talk Disney over the next hour. And if you're with us here on Thursday, we've almost made it to another weekend, so hang in there and let's have some fun talking Disney. So joining me today, it's your friend and mine from up in the mitten, Michigan State country, Lansing. We have Scotty G. What's up, Scott?
Hey, Mike. Happy to be here as always. Big weekend here too. Like there's something about that first weekend in May, right? Sometimes it's Mother's Day, but usually you're going to have Michigan State graduation. Proms are going on. So because the weather is finally turning in Michigan when you hit this time. So big weekend for our BRGuest Lizard running team too. Lots of great races all over the country. So as you know, I mean, Mike, the group is like 2,700 people deep. There's too many people to give a shout out for everyone. But I am going to give a special shout out to Jody, who crushed a PR today in what looked like the rainiest, wettest race I've ever seen at the Flying Pig.
I was going to ask you about that because I didn't see an update on that, but I did notice this morning as I was walking, because on Sundays I just walk. That's I run on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I've kind of learned, give the knees some time off. I walk 3 days a week now instead of running every day like an idiot. And so I noticed that people were debating on Twitter, as that's what Twitter is. debating, complaining that they were sending people out for the flying pig and they were putting screenshots of the radar. And it looked like this big line of storms was moving in. And I know that we have lots of folks out that way that do the flying pig. Big Jody, I know that she hosts a ton of people that go out that way.
Yeah.
I know Laurie does it a lot of times. And so I didn't know what the situation was. I knew they were sending people out, but I didn't know if they changed their mind. But apparently people did. And
they sent them out. I saw a photo, Mike, like over by like a Circle K, like gas station thing that had to have like 2 feet of water. I mean, that's an exaggeration, but it had a ton of water. Have a big shout out to them. I know Brooke, who's normally on Sundays, like she crushed a half marathon today. So many lizards. I mean, I got to do that race. I feel like I'm a 5-hour drive from Cincinnati, so maybe next year I'm going to go out and do it. But looks like a lot of fun, and there's races in Pittsburgh, all over the place. So congratulations to all the Be Our Guest lizards for crushing it this weekend.
Yeah, I've always it's got a cool name, right? The Flying Pig. I mean,
that and the Bird in Hand are like my 2 favorite like race names.
Yeah, and there's another one that I listen to this other podcast these guys do every year. It's called the Wine Glass Half Marathon, which I just think I don't know. This sounds kind of cool. But those are the three right there, just by names. I want to try them someday. But my grandpa grew up right across the river from Cincinnati, that one's in Cincinnati, right? Is that
right? Yeah, the Flying Pig is, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So
right there, like on the border of like Ohio and Kentucky.
Yeah, and that's where my grandpa grew up, in Ashland, Kentucky, which is right there at that little kind of confluence there of the rivers. And so I'd like to I've never seen that part of the country, so that kind of be back to my roots and run a race. We got so many friends out that way, and maybe see a Reds game. I'm sure we could probably get Reds tickets.
Yeah, so I've been to Great American Ballpark. That's so our last, like, we did a family vacation in like 2010 Labor Day weekend. We went to Cincinnati, went to the zoo. It's a great zoo, by the way. We went to the aquarium right there, like in Kentucky. I think it's like Newport. I could be wrong on that. Went to a Reds game. And we're like, dang, like we spent all this money. We could have gone to Walt Disney World. I said as a joke. And then sure enough, like a couple months later, Liz is like, okay, remember that time you said we could have gone to Walt Disney World? Well, here are the numbers. Let's go. So that's kind of what triggered our first trip, actually, was a trip to Cincinnati.
It works. And as we're sending out shout outs, we were talking in the pre-show, shout out to listener Maggie up in your neck of the woods, graduated today as we're recording from Michigan State University, right there in your backyard with her master's degree from Sparty U. So lots of hard work in those master's degrees. And we have tons of our folks, that are having kids graduating, and you're graduating yourself in this season of graduation. So congratulations to everybody getting those degrees.
So many great shout outs. We're probably going to get a call from someone that we can get a shout out to later. That's why I didn't even bother, because he tends to wrap up the show on Sundays. So we'll save that one for later. But lots of good things happening in the community. And I don't like or comment on all of them, but I want you to all know that I see them and I try to like and comment as much as I can. And it just puts a smile on my face when I read those posts.
I agree. It's a great time of the year. You get to celebrate, people putting in a lot of hard work. And I mean, you were mentioning it's prom season. Our high school here had prom the first weekend of April.
Wow. That's weird. Yeah, that's really early. Yeah.
I know. I couldn't even believe it. So anyway, let's talk about, I haven't even caught up with you about this yet. So I haven't told you where I'm staying with my family, what our plans are pre and post cruise.
Oh, sweet. Let's hear it. I got some plans too. Yeah, let's hear it.
So I thought we'd talk about this because we got a lot of folks that are tuned in that are going on the Be Our Guest podcast cruise less than 60 days at this point. So it is imminent. We're making plans. Pam, Scott, and I are going to be on. We're sailing on this. Ricky can't make it because, of course, she had baby Lucy. So we understand that she can't really leave her baby. I get it. And she kept saying she was, right, Scott? We kept hearing this, right? And we kept saying you're not going.
I wish Vegas would have had odds on this, because I would have put the mortgage on it. Like, there was no way she was sailing on that ship.
Right. She kept telling us. I mean, this was before she had the baby. Like, oh, I'm going to go. I'm like, you're not going to go. You're not. Like, and we don't expect you to go. Like, you're going to be a new mother. You're going to have a 3-month-old baby. You said, I'll leave it with I'll leave Lucy with my parents. No, you won't. You're the mom. Brian's not going to want to leave his daughter. So we totally get it, but we're going to have a good time. Now, so I haven't told you our plans, and here's the deal. I kind of left it up to Mallory where we're staying pre and post, but I also took some other factors in. So where do you think Mallory picked for pre? Because she did totally pick the pre-stay for the. So, we're coming down in the first.
Can I ask one question? You're not doing park tickets pre, right?
We're not doing park tickets. We're coming in on the first, so we're just going to kind of chillax for just a day and a half.
She picked the yacht club or beach clubs, one of those two resorts, I feel like.
She did not. And she
What?
was good to my wallet.
Oh,
She picked Coronado Springs. However, she had to stay in the tower. That was her
okay. That's fair. I like that pick.
Yeah, because she really likes the dig site pool.
I love the dig site pool. Yeah.
She loves that pool because we've stayed there a few times ever since she was like growing up. Like even when she was little, she used to like playing on that little sand playground over there. There was like a playground off to the side.
Yeah.
She loved that growing up as a kid. And I think she loved the Jaguar slide. And so I think she just has nostalgia for that resort because of that, just because she has memories there.
Yeah.
And now she stayed a couple times during cheer in the Grandestino Tower, and she just thinks it's the fanciest thing ever. She has a thing for the elevators.
Okay. Oh, those elevators are cool. Yeah.
That's all she talks about.
I just thought though, like I was not your good travel agent as I normally am because I made ADRs for pre-cruise last week and I didn't even think because I wasn't sure when you were coming down. Like I didn't even think about making them for like 6 or 8 or how many. So I might have to go revisit some of those. There's one though I'm not getting rid of. I'll tell you that right now.
Well, we're gonna have to make sure that we eat together because I'm going to be expecting.
Yeah. But tomorrow, as of the time of this recording on Sunday, tomorrow is when the post cruise ADRs can start being booked. That's where we hit 60 days. So I'm going to be logged in early Monday morning, making some more reservations. So if there's something you want, you better tell me.
Okay, well, I'm fine with anything, but remember, I don't know if Paige is going to be with us post-cruise. She will be with us pre-cruise. It'll be the 4 of us, and that'll be cool. But she has to go back to work, but after the cruise. But here's the thing, post-cruise, Grand Floridian, we're there with you guys. How about that?
What? Are you kidding?
And we're gonna I think just go to 3 parks. We're gonna get 3-day tickets, and I think we're gonna go to Typhoon Lagoon to the H2O party. I think this is the plan.
Jaw dropped. I was not expecting that one. Holy cow, man. It's awesome.
So I think we're gonna stay till the 10th. So we're gonna do the 7th in the parks, the 8th, go to the H2O glow party, the 9th, and then we're flying home like in the evening of the 10th. So that's kind of our plan.
Monday. I think we fly home on the 10th as well, kind of late. I think we're just doing 3 nights, 3 on the front, 3 on the back.
Yeah, because Mallory has to start camp on the 12th, and so we wanted to get her home like 1 day before mandatory camp.
Whatever that Monday is when we fly home, which I think is the 10th. You gotta love this live research. Yep, Monday the 10th is when we fly home. So 3 nights. That's dude. That's gonna be some epic pool time or whatever. Like I love it.
You're staying there too.
Who?
Pam's staying at the Grand too at post.
Dude, we're gonna do like a live show from a cabana at the pool.
That'd be awesome. I just thought,
I'm excited for those rooms. Like those rooms just look so awesome to me. I know there's like some construction going on right now, but that doesn't bother me too much. And it normally doesn't interfere with our trip. So I'm excited to check it out, check out the new rooms, and like boom, we're right there by the Magic Kingdom. So awesome.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, it's 3 nights. This is an opportunity for us to stay at the Grand. I got a really good deal on these rooms with that annual pass discount. I mean, they're still expensive, don't get me wrong, but they're 3 nights. I'm not like, a lot of times I'll go for 7 nights. There's no way I could afford the Grand Floridian for 7 nights. For 3 nights.
Yeah, I like the way you broke it up. Yeah.
And that's why I stayed at Coronado instead of a yacht beach on the front end, right? It was a compromise because I got a good deal on a standard view tower room. It wasn't much more than a Pop Century. Honestly, it was a good deal on an annual pass discount. When I took, because I did crunch the numbers, that's what I do. And I looked at the overall kind of like what I could kind of budget. And when I put them together, I was like, well, if this would have been like a yacht club, like on both ends, this is actually cheaper to do Coronado and Grand.
It makes sense to me. I love it. So you're going to go from the Coronado, have fun, use the dig site, go to Maya Grill. Maya Grill launched a new menu on Cinco de Mayo, actually.
I saw that, but the fajitas are still there.
The fajitas were still there. They had like this new thing for like 2 or 4 people too. That kind of intrigued me. But and then you do the cruise for 4 nights, and then you're gonna go to Grand Floridian for 3. Dude, that is an epic trip. That's up there with Disneyland last year. I mean, they're different, but they're equally awesome, basically.
Yeah, and I'm just excited that we get to hang out with our listeners, right? Because we'll see listeners before the cruise at Walt Disney World. We're hoping to run into folks, and then of course the ship. We're gonna have so many friends sailing with us for 4 days. We're gonna do all kinds of activities on the ship, and then afterwards. Still, some of these folks are going to follow us over to Walt Disney World. We'll probably go to the Typhoon Lagoon party. A bunch of us will, go hit around the parks and just, have basically a week's worth of fun together. And it's just going to be a good time. And, I'm just glad that we get to vacation together and not have a race, because a lot of times we do a race, but it's
Right.
always up at 2:30 in the morning running, and we're just so tired, and this way we can vacation and just
Yeah.
have fun.
That's what Elizabeth always says. That's why I'm like trying to cut back on my run Disney, even though I ended up signing up for Disneyland and the marathon weekend again. But those weekends don't feel like a family. And I know you go solo, so it's a little better there. But like Elizabeth comes to me, Emily comes a lot, so it's like it's not a family vacation really. Like the eating schedule is thrown off. You're waking up super early. You're going to bed early. So you hit the nail on the head right there. It's going to be a perfect, relaxing family vacation with all the listeners, our friends. Like I just can't wait for it. I'm actually like really, this conversation has got me even more psyched than I already was.
I am too.
But
Because some of our best times have been just hanging out. We've hung out at Saratoga Springs. You taught me how to play cribbage. I never played that game in my life. And I mean, you don't think about going to Walt Disney World and saying, some of my best times have been hanging with my bud, playing cribbage or learning how to play a board game. But it is
playing poolside games. I can already like see it right now. Or even on the ship, we'll be playing like card games, and then listeners can come in and like play. Like that's gonna be awesome. Like, and that's something just to throw it out there, like a PSA. So me, Mike, and Pam are kind of working on some activities, right? Like we're gonna have a call maybe this week to kind of like iron out some fun things we can do. So hopefully we'll get that out soon enough to the group and on the Facebook page too, so that people can start planning. No matter what, though, it's going to be awesome. There's always going to be someone to talk to, something to do, and I can't wait.
Yep. We're going to have an Ask Me Anything kind of thing for the listeners that are on with us on the ship. So be ready for that. Have a good question so you can ask us, because that's going to be the time we can do that. We'll record it for a future podcast episode. So we'll have that. So it's going to be one of the things we can do. That will be over pizza or ice cream after the show's late one night. So that's one of the activities we are going to have planned. Pam, Scott, and I, you can ask us anything and we'll give you the straight answer. And it'll be after a full night of eating and dancing and everything.
It'll be after a full night of old fashions.
Well, the good news is the old fashioned tasting, I think, is one of the last things we do.
It is the last thing.
That's
but I've got bourbon booked. I got beer booked. So and maybe Shorty, our favorite bartender, will be on the ship. Who knows?
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Okay, speaking of the ship, though, I'm excited about the 25th anniversary stuff. So that launched this week. You got to see like the new costumes on the Wish, like the Daisy, like blue. Like I love that blue and white kind of color. And then some sailings are going to have the special fireworks. I don't know if ours will. Like you would think they would, being over 4th of July.
And that's what we've been saying here at the house. Because again, that's one of the things I want to bring up tonight is that when you get into this window where you're like within 2 months of either a Walt Disney World, Disneyland cruise, whatever it is, where you're finally like when you're 6 months out, it's still so far away. Yeah, you talk about it, but it's still it's still kind of a dream. Even though it's on the books, you put down your deposit, it's still so far away. At this point, you're starting to really think logistics, right? We're starting to think like, okay, what do we got to do with Riley? Because all 4 of us are going, like, you got to start thinking about things. Yeah. So it starts to become real. And you're right. So we were having this conversation just last night. Like, do we get these bonus fireworks? And we said, we have to. It's the 4th of July cruise. So I would assume we will. I mean, come on.
I would assume we will too, but I wish they could just like publish it. Like, why can't they just say like these are the nights, and like there could be a cancellation because anything can happen, right? There could be like high winds or whatever that can always impact the fireworks. But you could at least like have it like planned, like on this sailing we're expecting to do them. Like that would just be nice to have,
right?
Because then you can plan your night around it. Because like, what if that's the night I'm doing a beer tasting? I might rather do the fireworks instead of doing the beer tasting. Who knows, right?
I know it's one of those things, when you try to come up with and this is a piece of advice we have not given on the podcast yet for those folks that have never sailed. And I think you just brought up a good point, Scott, kind of indirectly, is I think some of our first time cruisers are trying to solve like the perfect Rubik's Cube when it comes to a cruise. Like I want to make sure that I make my Remy reservation for this night. You're not Remy, but my adult dining for this night. I make sure that I do a tasting on this night. And it's only a 4-night cruise. And you're trying to plug, and I understand that, right? These cruises are super expensive and you want to get everything you can out of them. But here's the thing. You're not going to get to do every single thing, and everything's not going to like work into a perfect puzzle where you can like have everything fall into, well, I don't want to miss dining with Anna and Elsa in that dining room, or do the Marvel experience, but still do adult dining and, have this and have that tasting and go to that show. And you will miss a couple things. Like it's impossible to be 2 places at once. But the good news is you're going to get to do so many cool experiences that I don't think you're going to regret it when you get off the ship. Because I still, there's things I miss because they overlap, and I just, like I'll have Palo brunch while something else is going on.
Yeah.
But the bottom line is I went to Palo brunch, so yeah, did I miss something else? Yes, but I still had an amazing meal that I'll talk about in 6 months. So you got to kind of look at it that way.
For sure. And sometimes you just got to prioritize what that is. And like for me, if they're doing those 25th anniversary fireworks, that's like a priority for me because that's like this is the only 25th anniversary they've ever had, Mike. So these are special fireworks that you don't see on every cruise. And if you miss them, oh well, because I might be hanging out with a listener talking about something or doing whatever. And that's actually going to be a better memory for me, just hanging out and chatting and get to learn about people. That's what I'm all about.
Right. It's just going to be fun. And the thing is, being on a cruise is so relaxed. Everybody's, it's just so chill. It's so nice.
Except if you're like really competitive in a high intense like trivia game or something, right? That's the only time it's like not chill.
And we are, and that is encouraged. If they're giving away a medal or a keychain or something that is worth like 73 cents, yes. I mean, there is winners and losers. So watch out.
What are your thoughts on merchandise? Like I think there's some 25th anniversary line merch, right? Like, do they set aside like certain amount for each sailing? Like, is that going to be like crazy? Like when it gets dropped in the park, probably, right?
See, I was watching.
You're not a merchandise guy, I know.
I'm not a merch guy, but here's the thing. Like, I mean, I am, but I like the generic like black Disney Cruise Line stuff that says like you have that very cool. We both have like the Nike
the zip up,
zip, that says it's got Mickey head. You got the Disney Cruise Line one. I'd like to get that, and I have some like hoodies and stuff that are Disney Cruise Line. I like that stuff. I will say like they've come out with the purple stuff for the 25th. But most of the stuff that I saw, at least this past week, as they dropped the initial merchandise, it almost looked like it was mostly women's stuff. A lot of Loungefly bags and Spirit jerseys and stuff like that. I mean, they might come around.
Did you see that Bluetooth speaker? That was like a
yeah, that is cool. But I don't have
it's a special thing, right? I don't think they're going to always have that.
Okay, that's a great. If I had a pool, I'd be tempted. And I saw somebody
in a bathtub, I'd be tempted. I mean, come on, that thing is awesome.
I don't take baths. Our bathtub is super small. I've taken a bath since I was like 8. Here's the thing.
Well, you could use that the Grand Floridian bath when you're.
I could. It'd be a really expensive gadget to use once. So if people don't know what it is, it's a Bluetooth. It's a waterproof Bluetooth speaker that looks like the Wish. It looks like a cruise ship. And they had these on the Carnival cruise line like 2 years ago, and it looks like the Carnival ship. And on the Carnival ship, it was like $55. And somebody commented at that time, Disney Cruise Line should throw one more funnel on this thing and charge 3 times as much. And they would sell these things like hotcakes because Disney fans are crazy. And what did they do? They put another funnel on that sucker, painted it like the Disney Wish, and they're selling it for $170. And here we are, like that thing is the coolest thing ever.
I know, it's so funny, man. But it did look cool. Like I saw someone, you probably saw the same video of it, like floating in one of like the Wish pools or whatever. I was like, this is awesome. Have some yacht rock playing coming out of that thing. Yeah. Like, oh man, perfect.
That is, I love unique stuff like that. That is, yeah.
So I'm curious. I'm already like, oh my God, like I know the cruise is like paid for, but like I gotta save up like another like ridiculous amount of money for all the stuff I'm gonna buy on the sailing. Because I do love the merchandise. I do.
Yeah. I'm just super excited to get there. We've talked about this, I think, on many shows over the past 15 years, but one of the most exciting days. And again, the phone lines are open. This is the BOGP Open Lines. If you want to call us and talk Disney, we can talk about anything. We're just kind of hanging out and hope you enjoy this. We're trying to get you through a Thursday morning if you're on the feed or here kind of wrapping up the weekend. But this is your show. So come in to be a part of the conversation if you're in on this. I love waking up the morning of a cruise. There is nothing like that morning you wake up and you're like, dude, we are going to Port Canaveral.
Yeah. The first thing I do is I go to the Port Canaveral feed to see that the ship is there, right? Like, I love it. There's something about that morning is the best. The other thing is too, like, do they still do this, Mike, though? Do they still mail the tags? Like, I love getting like the sail Mickey mail, like just telling you like, hey, your cruise is like in 20 days or whatever. You get like your luggage tags. Like that is one of my favorite days too.
About 3 weeks ahead. Yeah.
But then you're just like, dang, I gotta wait another 3 weeks. Like, come on.
Yeah, it's one of those,
Cruise mornings.
exciting times, man. It is super. And then when you're driving over to, it's not that long of a drive, but it feels like it takes forever because it's like a boring drive on. I think it's called the beach line or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you kind of start going over those like bridges over the Banana River or whatever, and then you finally see. Oh, we always do this. I think I see the ship. You see the funnel like over the first hill. And you're just like, oh, we're there.
So and the last BOGP cruise, we stayed near port actually post cruise. We came on just the night before, and I ran around there, and that was a cool run, like because you see like all the ships like lined up, and like, oh man, like you want to talk about a morning where you're just like, then you're just antsy, like I just want to get on there now, like I can see it right there, like it's right there, I can almost touch it, like. But it is a cool morning.
I think I did that too because we stayed at that hotel that the astronauts used to own.
That's where we stayed at. Yeah.
And no kidding, I ran all the way. Like I ran because this was like when I was like, I had a problem back then. I ran way too much, and I got up super early in the morning and ran on the beach for like, I think I ran like 12 miles that morning. And dude, it's deceiving when you run on the beach and you're used to, because you can't judge distances.
I love beach runs.
I ran way up to the close to that ship, and I was like, I am way far away from the hotel now. And then you had to turn around, and go back. But the Cocoa Beach is a cool place to run because, like, yeah, there were signs that like they filmed "I Dream of Jeannie" here, and that was a fun place. But yeah, running on the beach, by the way, is a tricky proposition.
It's a tricky thing for me too. So like someone in our Facebook group posted like they booked Ohana like that morning, and that's great. Like I'm excited. Like they're gonna go to the Polynesian because like you're just in the, like you said, man, you're like in the best mood that morning. Like I'm about to go sailing on Disney Cruise Line for the next 4 days. Like it's gonna be so awesome. But I don't know how I feel about like the giant meal because I've done this at Boma before. Like I had a huge Boma meal for breakfast, and then we got to the ship, and I'm like, oh, I can't even like eat anything yet. Like
I stop eating at midnight, and then I get on the ship, and I'm like, it's on.
But I do love the idea like a character breakfast. I mean, that does sound nice, right? Like it's a good way to kick off the vacation or like the cruise day.
They don't want
I would just not go crazy like on the extra bacon and extra eggs at Ohana and save a little bit when you get on the ship.
I can't do that though, so
I know.
And I'm just like, oh, bring it on. But and two, also, just so everybody knows, I think we talked about this on Wednesday's show, is that the check-in dates have changed over the last week. They announced. So if you happen to be Pearl, which I think only that would probably affect Pam Forrester, maybe.
Probably.
Yeah, I think so. That's 40 days or concierge. We actually have a guest a couple guests sailing concierge with us. That'll be at 40 days. You can do your online check-in. If you are platinum, you can check in at 38, gold 35, silver is now 33 days prior to the sailing, and everybody else is still at 30 days. Just so
what's wild, they changed that like the day I made like a comment on a post. I was like, because everyone was 30 days, right? So I was like, and that 30 days is Memorial Day, like that morning. So I was like, hey, if you stayed up late like Sunday night, which a lot of people have the next day off, because like, hey, you could like stay up and like do your online check-in. They changed it like that day. Then I felt kind of bad because that would only apply to gold members at that point. But yeah, I as someone that has sailed Disney Cruise Line before, this is how it used to be too, right? You used to be able to like check in early for your port arrival times and things. So I like the change. I think it's good.
I will say the best part about being platinum, which I'm just platinum because I've just been, I sailed the Magic like in her first year. So I've just been sailing since 98. Like I haven't sailed a ton. I've just sailed consistently for 25 years. And the best part about being platinum, in my opinion, is that you're automatically getting to sail or get board the ship with like concierge. So like you're automatically group one. So I'm like, yes. You don't have to worry about port arrival time. That's the best.
Or did that change with the Pearl? Probably not.
No, well, Pearl's it didn't bump platinum out, but Pearl's also in there. And then I would be with Pearl. I thought about the same thing, right? If I'm Pearl, I'm like, well, what kind of perk is that? Like, because if you were Pearl, you would have had to have been platinum. So
exactly.
That is no benefit at all because you were already getting that. Exactly. So yeah, about the same thing. Like I mean, they get other stuff.
At the end of the day, everyone that paid for that cruise is getting on the ship. As long as you have the right documentation, like make sure you got your birth certificate. I'm sure you'll do a podcast as we get closer to
we're doing
things you need to pack because you don't want to be in that situation where You don't have your documentation to get on that ship. Like,
Right.
that's a nightmare.
We don't want to wave to anybody.
Yeah.
That'd be super sad. So, okay. So give us a call. The number's 407-413-9395, 407-413-9395. I don't know if you saw this in the news just yesterday as we're recording. The Liberty Bell at the Magic Kingdom broke down and just got stuck in the rivers of America, and they had to evacuate it.
Oh, I did see that. Yeah.
Which I thought that was pretty epic because that's an attraction that I never thought would have to get evacuated. It seems pretty straightforward. We all probably know it's on a track under the water and just kind of.
We saw it like drained over like a year ago. I have tons of photos of it from the line of the Haunted Mansion. It was interesting. I saw a car driving on it actually at one point. It was kind of funny.
I ask you though, like what's the most epic attraction either at Disneyland or Walt Disney World that you've been evacuated from?
Close by to that area, and which is under construction, going under a new theme, and that was Splash Mountain. I was evacuated on Splash Mountain right after you did like basically the whole thing. You were almost to like the Zippity Doodah scene, and it was with my in-laws. It was like the first ride they did like on a trip. I was like, oh my gosh, like
what kind of place is this?
But like I'm kind of psyched to though because like because us Disney fans like love that, and I'm thinking like, oh man, my father-in-law is probably like, what is going on here, But it was cool. So we got to walk like the Zippity Doodah scene, and Elizabeth loves to tell the story, like because we walked by a bluebird, and she's like, "I'm gonna touch his beak." So she just like touched Bluebird's nose, on the way out. But that was kind of fun. I mean, I've done some other ones, some minor things, but that's the real big one for me was Splash. How about you?
Yeah, I see. And William saying Big Thunder. I have a picture of us getting evacuated. And I want to say it was also Splash going up the lift hill, but I posted it one day and somebody said it was either the opposite. It was either Big Thunder and it was Splash, or Splash, it was Big Thunder.
Oh, interesting.
Huh. But I think it was Splash going up the lift hill. It was one of those two though. And I just remember because there's stairs kind of built into they kind of blend in, but right there, you just basically stepped out of I'm pretty sure it was Splash because I think we got out of the log. And you just kind of, walk down the steps, and they took you kind of like on a back little pathway, and you got out. Yeah. But it was the same way. I was like, yes, this is so
awesome. Cool. We recently had a Carousel of Progress where, I've been there with you where we've seen the scene multiple times. I think we saw like the 40s or 50s scene like 3 times in a row. That's how bad it was. And finally, like, okay, we got to evacuate. And then you exit, and you're used to like when you exit the room, like your sight line there of like Tomorrowland. But we were like behind it. Like it was just so weird. Like you left the room and you're like, oh, what is this? It was like backstage. And then so you just kind of like walked around like the giant circle. So nothing super exciting, but it was cool. Like I think I saw like an Astro Orbiter rocket like sitting back there under construction or something. Yeah, I love seeing stuff like that.
I know. I think we all kind of get a huge kick out of that as Disney nerds to be able to get back there and kind of see. And really what it is just storage a lot of times. It's like you're seeing, oh, this is like a broken down car, vehicle from this attraction that's next door. And we got good news. Speaking of that, though, a little news out for Disneyland. We got good news about Mr. Toad and Alice in Wonderland, and not Peter Pan, but I think
Peter Pan's going to be longer. Yeah,
longer. But I mean, those 3 big Fantasyland attractions will not be down for long. I think they're going to be down really for just like a week. And so, man, I was worried because that's like the dead of summer, and those are, I mean, I didn't want to like build them up, but those are some of my favorite attractions at Disneyland, and they were going down, but they're going to be back up by like I think it was like a week, like maybe less than a week.
Yeah. So let me ask you this: so what would be a table service restaurant you guys would want post cruise? Now post cruise is tough to book ADRs for because we got a call. Never mind, we can answer that later.
Look at that. Okay, let's get the call here. I didn't have that set right. Hey, who's joining us? Thanks for calling in.
Hey, Mike, this is Patrick calling from Buffalo. How you doing?
Hey, good. How are things in Buffalo this evening?
A little wet this evening, but I don't know if Scotty can relate to this, but we've had some nice weather finally after like 7 months of being stuck inside with a 2-year-old toddler and a 4-month-old. So, but
I mean, you all had like a crazy winter though. There were some bad storms this winter there in Buffalo. Brutal. So not as bad as you all, but yeah, I can relate.
Yeah, once every like 10 years, we'll have like the 7-foot feet of snow dumped on us. But then we had the the Christmas blizzard too, which there was like snow drifts that were taller than me in the backyard and the driveway. My snowblower couldn't even handle it. But I just keep telling myself the summers are worth it. So, but after this past winter, that's becoming a bit of a harder sell. So.
I hear you. I'm sure the summers are gorgeous there in Buffalo, though. I can't imagine. It's probably like how it is here in Michigan, right? Like 70 to 80 degrees, like sunshine. Like those are nice. But yeah, like, is it worth that sacrifice for those brutal winters? I don't know. I question myself too, Patrick.
I don't know. This was the first. So like, our son is going to be 2 in August, and our daughter was born in December. And I never used to mind the winters because things slow down and you can kind of do some cooking and catch up on some shows. But man, being stuck inside with a toddler for the last like 6 months, I mean, he was like essentially crawling the walls, trying to get outside and play. So I don't know. It's becoming a lot harder of a sell, like I said, to be stuck here all winter. But certainly makes those Disney trips that we have on the horizon seem a lot more look.
So
a lot
Patrick, are you like me and like you like to go during the winter months, maybe just to escape it for a little bit, or do you like to go like in the spring and summer?
That's going to be the plan. That's going to be the plan going forward. I mean, we have a trip coming up in September, but then I think we're going to start going at least once in the winter, but if twice if we can swing it. My wife and I navigated the gauntlet of getting APs again back a couple weeks ago. Nice. So we got those. We'll probably activate them September when we go, and then have a trip planned in January. And then I reached out to Mike a couple weeks ago. We're going to try to get something on the books once 2024 dates become available for March. So hopefully this upcoming winter will be a lot more tolerable than the past one. So,
and your family is like at the perfect time for that. So I'll say that's what we used to do. But then your kids start to get a little older. They're a little harder to pull out of school. So if you got the 2-year-old and like the newborn at the time, right. I mean, that's the time to start taking those winter trips for sure.
Yeah. So, and that kind of segues into the question that I wanted to ask you guys. And my wife posed the question to me, and I thought, what better of a duo of gentlemen to be able to help me get the answer.
We'll see.
Yeah. So we're traveling down in September, and then like I said, we're staying off-site in January, and then when 2024 dates become available, we're gonna get a trip on the book. So have 3 trips on hopefully planned for about a 6-month period starting in September. So we're bringing a stroller down. We usually fly Southwest and, fly our stroller down in the car seats and all that stuff. So our son does really well in a car seat or in a stroller for stretches of time. But what we're concerned with is once he gets out of the stroller and gets a little bit of freedom, it's like a battle trying to get him back into it. Yeah. So can you guys think of places in the park where, it's good, we can get away from the crowds a little bit. The toddler our son can kind of stretch his legs, run around a little. Didn't there used to be a playground in Epcot somewhere? I don't know if that's still there with the construction and.
Yeah, it's over behind. It's between Test Track and Creations, that the old Mouse Gears store, and it's awesome. And also over at Animal Kingdom, you got the dig site, which I think is down right now. They're doing some refurbishments to it, but hopefully it'll be back up soon.
And in Magic Kingdom, you got not that I've encouraged kids running around through the water area necessarily of Casey Jr., but that is a good area to blow off some steam, but they might get a little wet.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good call out. Yeah, because I was thinking too the queue in Dumbo, but I'm like, how many times do I want to? We get on the queue, we'll wait in line in that little play area, we ride Dumbo. Then I feel like we're going to be riding Dumbo for like 5 hours straight if we keep going on the ride and having to get back in line and going on the ride. And so that's a good call out. Maybe we'll bring a change of clothes and let them splash around in Casey Jr. for a little bit. So,
no, but I bet you could go in that Dumbo queue and not even ride the ride. I bet you could just walk in there and not.
Yeah.
I would imagine you could just play. And, that's a great hack, because if it's hot or if it's raining, you know what I'm saying? Like it's air conditioned and you could, get a little juice into your phone and kind of sit there and relax for a few minutes. I mean.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and the studios used to have that Bugs
Yeah, shrunk
Life.
the play set.
Yeah, I think every park really should have a kids playground.
I know.
Because, and I know, here's the thing. I know some people say, and I kind of used to think this, like playgrounds are like McDonald's, or like a Burger King, like the Playland or whatever. But the thing is, when you are a parent, and I think, maybe people that don't have kids might say that, and I even thought that myself. But when you have a kid that is of a toddler age, you can't expect them to sit in a stroller all day or to stand in lines, and then to sit in on a roller coaster, or sit in a boat for Small World or what have you, sit on a train. They need to burn off energy, and everybody benefits from that. What I'm saying? Like, even the, the grandma and grandpa that are just there to go to Food and Wine Festival, they're going to benefit from your 2-year-old running around in that playground for 20 minutes and burning off all that energy. Everybody wins.
And they're nice areas too. Like,
are with us, they're also going to benefit from burning off a little bit of energy too.
Yeah.
And then you're talking about like the McDonald's and the Burger King, but that's not equivalent though.
No,
you know what I mean? Like, people don't think
Okay.
that though. Like the Boneyard is one of the nicest like play areas I've ever seen. Like that thing is so nice. What's funny, I was thinking about what a Hollywood Studios one was too. I was thinking the Disney Junior area. Then my friend who's listening just texted. She was like, the Disney Junior dance party area, Hollywood Studios is a good area too, and that's absolutely right because they can just kind of run around during that.
Oh, that's a good call out. My wife went to. She's told me like she has like memories of I can't remember what year she would have gone to Hollywood Studios, but the only memory she has from Disney World is when she went when she was younger. Was that I think it was the Honey I Shrunk the Kids play area or something like that in Hollywood Studios, and I'm kind of like the Disney person in our marriage, and I'm like, they never had that. You must have dreamt it. And then now I've seen pictures of it, and it was like a legitimate, like it was nice. So I think every park should have something like that. I know on a couple weeks ago, Mike, and I know it's different, but you described kind of that new area that's in Toontown in Disneyland.
That is awesome. That's next
where it's
level.
just kind of an open.
Yeah.
I know there's no real playground there, but it's an open area for that's kind of secluded and has a little bit of shade for some of the little ones, or to burn off some steam, or the big kids to close their eyes like you and rest up and recharge your batteries a bit. So maybe they'll move more towards that as they're kind of rehabbing some of the parks and stuff like that. So
yeah, Toontown at Disneyland is next level, the way they thought of everything, because there is actually a playground area for the little ones to actually play on some like little stuff in one area. There's a kind of a place for kids that have sensory issues that just need dark and quiet. It's in the very back corner, where there was really hardly anybody. That's where you could take a nap if you needed it. That's where I would go. But I mean, in that same land, at the same time, there's an e-ticket attraction in Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, so it's not like it's a wasted, there's nothing back there. They threw an e-ticket in there, and there's also 2 places to get, really good snack foods. There's a kiddie roller coaster like Barnstormer. I mean, it's very well developed, but there's a lot going on, but it's just good use. Like, and there's just kids can run around like a mad person back there and burn off energy at the same time. It's really wild. It's next level, the way they kind of really thought about a whole bunch of, concerns that parents have, and a lot of things were addressed, and it was really forward thinking, I thought. But, I think I like the way you're thinking about this now, because by thinking about this now, you're assuring that your family's going to have good trips as you go down over the next year, because when you don't think about this stuff and like, oh, man, my kid's so crabby, 3 days into a Walt Disney World vacation. Well, it's because they've been sitting in a stroller for 3 days. You can't expect that. That's not natural.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's like you guys have said a lot on the show, going with we took our son when he was 6 months old, and then we were in Disneyland last fall when he had just turned a year, and it's a different ball game taking like an infant versus traveling and doing stuff with a toddler. So yeah, just trying to get in front of it, and check off, make sure we're covered for everything. But appreciate the feedback. I know you guys got to run. just want to say, love everything you do. I've been a listener since I think 2016, since my wife and I were planning our first trip.
That's
so,
awesome.
Really love the call-in shows that have been going on the past couple of years. They really helped through some of that bleakness of COVID. So you guys do a great job. You should be very proud of it, and really, again, appreciate the feedback.
Awesome.
So
I appreciate
that.
that.
Have a good night.
Hey, I know it takes a lot of time to listen, and that means a ton to me. Go ahead, Scotty G.
Hey, I was just gonna say, hey Patrick, are you a football fan by chance?
I am. I'm a long-suffering Bills fan.
Okay.
So
I can relate as a Lions fan. I just want to tell you, the Bills actually are my AFC team, so maybe I'm the reason why they can't win a Super Bowl. But I do love the Bills. I love me some Bills Mafia. So good luck to you this year.
Well, thanks, Scott. And pick a new team, would you? I mean, I would like at least one, and then maybe you can climb back on.
Okay.
After we win this year, feel free to climb back on the bandwagon. But
maybe I'll switch to it. Maybe I'll switch to the Kansas City. We could use them to not win again. So yeah,
or Cincinnati, jinx somebody else for this year, and then we look forward to welcoming you back in 2024.
Sounds like a fun. Wouldn't that be epic? Like a Lions Bills Super Bowl, like that would just be unbelievable. I feel like, but who knows?
It could happen. It could happen.
Yeah,
it could totally happen.
So
I like Josh Allen.
Crossed,
he seems like a good guy. I'm a Josh Allen fan for sure.
He's a small town guy, and you know what? Anybody that embraces Buffalo the way that he has is good in my book. So
agreed.
So we love him up here, and So all right, guys, we'll be good. Appreciate it again, and Mike, I'll be talking to you soon about those 2024 dates.
I'm just waiting for Disney to give me the high sign, man. They're dragging their feet as always. Come on now, let's go.
Always.
It's time to get to work. Let's go. All right, have a good one, buddy.
Take care, Patrick.
Don't be a stranger.
Right,
have a good week.
All
right, see you.
Yeah. So I'm waiting on 2024 too because I'm out of the story, Mike. I'm out of DVC points, so I need something for January, like that first week.
We got to get. I mean, we're going to Disneyland in January too.
I know. But we're gonna do a full week, I think, of Walt Disney World. I think we're gonna do New Year's because Emily's out that whole week.
You're crazy if you're doing it. I cannot do that. I gotta. No way. Anyway, we got.
She's out that whole week.
I know, but still, I can't afford to do all that. Man,
I know. But I can't remember the last. It's been a while since I've seen Epcot New Year's Eve, man.
I know it has been. You'll just have to FaceTime me. All right, Brooke's on the line. I believe she's out in Cincinnati. Brooke, what's going on?
Hi guys. Yep, I'm calling in after Flying Pig Race weekend. It was fantastic. Definitely a challenge, but it was so fun to be with some lizards and get to hang out and run together. Couldn't ask for anything more. It was great.
Congratulations on another half. You might have been hearing earlier. I actually gave you a little shout out. I was super proud of you seeing you cross that line today. So good job today.
Thank you. It was, I'm new to this whole running thing, but it was a challenge, I guess. So the full marathon people, they had over 1,200 feet of elevation gain, and half marathoners had over 800 feet of elevation gain. So that was the big challenge. That combined with the thunderstorms, lightning, and rain.
That's tough.
So once you were done the first couple miles, you were just soaked, saturated from head to toe, and then that was it for the rest of the time. But
me and Mike were talking about running this race sometime, and now that you told that elevation gain, now I'm doubting it. No, I'm just kidding.
I know that part of the world is hilly, and you just reinforce that, and I'm like, pass.
Yeah, I don't think I realized how much it was when I signed up.
It's Appalachia.
My concept of Ohio is like middle Ohio, not Kentucky border Ohio. But I mean, it was a challenge, and we finished it. I mean, all the lizards did great. It was something. I'm sure I will compare races to this, going forward forever, because it was so unique for me coming from a flatter part of the country.
I just saw the radar this morning as I was walking on my very dry and very flat treadmill, and I was not running. I was just walking and reading the news, and I saw people saying they're sending people out in this, and I said they're probably not going to send people out in this.
It's funny. It makes you appreciate the weather forecasting of Disney.
Well,
they do that.
Race directors in general,
I
think race directors in general, because the thing is, you are in a no-win situation in that spot because you have this whole course laid out. You have all these volunteers already probably there. You have, I mean, so many resources deployed for a full marathon. So you got stuff scattered over 26 miles, you know, water stops, and you got, I mean, and if you call it off, because you can't just postpone like a race. Usually it's either it happens or it doesn't. You know, you don't do it the next day.
Yeah.
It's like a ball game. It's just you don't do it that year.
People's safety is the top priority. I mean,
Exactly.
always.
Safety's number one. But I mean, you know, you got to try to get it to go if you can think you can get people out safely. But yeah, if there's a question, you can't, and then people are mad. It's just it's a tough spot.
20,000 people would be, you know, it's a hard position to be in. I don't envy that job.
No, I don't either.
But it seems like everything was fine and everyone was safe today, so that's good.
That is good.
And also, I want to shout out. It seems like there was quite a crew over in Pittsburgh, which is just a couple hours east of where I am here in Cincinnati. And it looked like there was at least half a dozen lizards there doing the marathon today. I think there. I know there was a half. I'm guessing there was a full two. Yeah, I think there was.
I think there is. That's one that's on my list too. Like,
out there.
Yeah, I've always wanted to do that Pittsburgh one too. Yeah.
I'm definitely going to try the half there. The half looks like it hugs the river more. The full definitely goes up into Oakland. I went to college in Pittsburgh, so that would also definitely be a fun one for me to return to. But I think that would be a great one. It seems like a good number of lizards go out there. We should get a group there next year.
I'm raced out by May. That's my problem. Like I'm a winter runner.
So one thing that was awesome about marathon weekend was that it solidified in my mind that like I would not even think about applying for springtime because I'm that's too hot for me. I couldn't do it. It's not my style. So I can maybe do the May races up here in the Northeast.
No, by the way, but you want to know what the temperature? Okay, you say up here in the Northeast, but I mean we're in the Midwest. You know what the temperature was here today, and it could just be the same in Cincinnati. It was 91 here today in St. Louis.
Oh my goodness.
And it was 86% humidity. So like the heat index was like 97. So just picture that.
Well,
I mean, that'd have been miserable.
Honestly, today, if it was not raining, I mean, I think it was raining at least 75% of the time I was running. Which made you cool. Like I was very cold finishing the race, or I was anyway. I would have been really hot because it was very humid. It was probably the upper limits. If it had been dry, I would have been at the upper limits of what I could have handled. Because for me, like mid to upper, I think it was like mid 70s. I don't know if it was that at race time, but that was humid. Humidity is tough.
That's hot for me.
But so I learned about leg cramps, which I had never experienced in my training or any races I've done. I think it was the hills, and I think the rain distracted me from my drinking. I always, for the longer runs, I drink Scratch or Noon, and I just sip on it throughout the early part of the race. And I think I was distracted, and I didn't have enough of it. So I got leg cramps, and so it was a little disappointing because I literally had to slow myself down. I couldn't do anything faster than a shuffle for the second half of the race, or else I cramped.
Yeah, I'll get you.
Cramped at the very end. I might have shouted some choice words at the photographer as I crossed the finish line because it hit me at that second. So it'll be interesting photo finish there.
Every picture has a story.
But all in all, even despite that, it was such a great weekend. It was a great weekend.
That's what it's
about.
And
then really quickly before I let you guys go, I got an annual pass for the first time in my life.
There you go.
So I'm excited about it. Just the way the schedule works, the race schedule. I don't think I can go down for marathon weekend by myself again without having another week planned with my daughter. So that's what I'll do, and because of that, I'll do the annual pass. So I'm really
it. I like that idea.
It's exciting to have. I mean, it's just cool that it's like you're in the club kind of.
I miss the Mickey monitor though. I was talking about this with some friends over the weekend. Like, remember the Mickey monitor? Like they would mail out like I don't know, like I mean, it was a silly thing that I probably just like threw away most of the time, but like I liked getting that.
Yeah.
I did too. It was a cool little magazine. All right, well, we're gonna safe ride home, and congratulations once again, and go dry out and throw all that stuff in the dryer. That's craziness. I'm a baby. I couldn't have done it. You're tougher than I am.
There was one for the books for me.
There you go. Keep it. All right, we'll see you in less
You did
than
awesome,
2
Brooke.
months. Not long.
Congratulations.
We're proud of you. We'll see you soon.
All right, and thank you all the lizards, all the
Absolutely.
posting and everything. It just keeps us going. So thank you,
100%.
everybody.
We'll see you in less than 2 months.
All right,
Alrighty,
bye.
see you. Bye-bye.
That's right. Less than 2 months.
That's right. All right, we have another call. They always start rolling in right like quarter till.
I know.
I don't know. We should just start then. We have another call. Who's joining us?
Hey, this is Elizabeth.
Hey, Elizabeth, what's going on? Where are you calling from?
Hey, the Charlotte, North Carolina area.
That'll work. We take calls from Charlotte, North Carolina. Say hello to Scott.
For a half a second, Elizabeth, I thought you might have been my wife. For a half a second, I thought you were my wife, and she was going to say, like, "Hey, tell Scott dinner's almost ready." I had this like vision, but that is not the case. How are you doing tonight, Elizabeth?
I'm doing great, thanks.
So what's going on?
Well, Saturday, I'm taking my family of 11 to the Orlando area to Disney World.
Yes.
That's a nice crew.
That is a crew. Do you guys at least have matching shirts?
We have 6 daughters, and we 3 of them have significant others. So it's going to be my husband and I, our 6 daughters, and 3 sons-in-law.
Wow. Whoa. So your husband has 6 daughters.
Yeah, and so do I, ironically.
Well, I'm just saying because I'm the dad. So Scott. So I'm just looking at it from the dad. Lord have mercy. I have 2. I can't imagine having 6.
Yeah. We'll take 2, and really even 1, as Scott probably knows, takes all your time and energy and resources. So 6 can't take any more.
Oh, I can't imagine.
I think it depends on how well they're spread out too, because then like an older one can kind of help out at some point. I feel like, right? I mean, like it's got to become like a team effort at some point.
Yes.
Definitely. It's a partner system. We had 3 in our first 3 years of marriage, and they're 22, 23, and 24 now. And then 5 years later, we had another set of 3, and they're now 13, 14, and 17.
Okay.
All right. Well, I mean, see, I have like 1 in each of those like ranges. I have the 26 and the 15. So, but I don't have the other pairs. Yeah, exactly. I can imagine having 4 more. Holy smokes. That'd be
I think that's awesome. I love it.
It's totally awesome. I'm just saying, God bless you guys.
Yeah.
So what do you have planned? What's the big, what are you looking forward to? This is going to be epic. I hope you have Memory Maker, right? You got to have Memory Maker because you got to get these photos.
Right. Well, we're celebrating my 50th birthday. I turned 50 in a few weeks, so we're going to be celebrating that. And one question I had, you might have seen it in the chat. We are going to Hollywood Studios on Wednesday, and we want to see Fantasmic. It's at 9:00, but we noticed that Hollywood Studios is open until 10, and we are wondering if we can, once Fantasmic is over, if we can exit and go back into the park so we can squeeze in another ride.
God, I'm trying to think because sometimes they do kind of force you. Sometimes they do kind of corral you outside, I think.
So that's the thing. So like with Fantasmic, it does kind of exit you out.
But it depends if you go to the second show that ends after the park closes. I think if you go to the first show, they might, because I think there's usually a 9 and like a 10:30 show. Or not, there's a show
10:30 show, but I'm guessing that's for the extra hours, right?
No,
they just might do it after the park closes.
There's a show you can go to as a regular guest after the park closes. I think because I've gone to the show, it's not like an extra like party guest, and you can go to that one. And that one, obviously, they do just dump you right out of the park. But I think if you go to that first show, you can.
They kick you on like Hollywood Boulevard, maybe. I think somewhere or Sunset. Yeah, Sunset.
Yeah. I think you can. Yeah, I'm
Sunset.
pretty sure.
Okay.
Yeah, it just depends on how quickly they clear that theater. Because I've been into some slow loading or slow exiting, so I would be like try to be like in the back of the theater almost, maybe, so that you're one of the first ones out. If that makes sense.
Top. Yeah.
Okay, that's an excellent point. You're right, to be kind of at the top. We're going to do that, and something that we've never done in our, probably 20 visits as a family to Walt Disney World is
we've never been to Trader Sam's at the Polynesian. Any tips for trying to get into there? We're hoping to go on Mother's Day.
Okay.
It'll be a Sunday.
So trying to go next week. Yeah. All 11 of you trying to go?
Yeah, we were thinking we would separate into parties of like 2, 3, or 4.
Okay. I think a Sunday is a popular day with like locals kind of with that too. So like they're at the Magic Kingdom and they come over and like their goal is Trader Sam's. So they line up kind of early. So I would just say like try to get there.
Well, like 3 o'clock maybe.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what time they open. Is it 4?
I think they open at 3. Do you know? Do they start taking names like an hour early?
They do. People start lining up early. Yeah, so that would be my strategy. Maybe get there like at 1:30, maybe even.
Okay.
It's worth it. I mean, that's the thing.
It's worth it. Totally, 100% worth it.
Totally worth it. It is such a cool place. Of course, you can also have drinks on the outside, but you want to be on the inside. The experience is inside the bar.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
So, I mean, it just depends on like how you want to prioritize your day. Like if that is like really important to you, like where you're willing to sacrifice some time, right? Or sacrifice some part-time, like I highly recommend Elizabeth to get there early and talk to the cast member. They'll be standing out. There might already be like a line forming. Hopefully not. Hopefully you get there early enough. And then, just get your name on the list. So, and hopefully then you can call us from Trader Sam's as we're doing a live show because I would love to hear it.
I know, seriously.
Okay, I'll have to keep that in mind.
That'd be a cool Mother's Day. That'd be a really
right.
Yeah, that'd be fun. It is a neat place, and it's more fun with a group too. That'd be even better.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So someone just commented. I'm sure you'll see it like after you hang up though. But someone, Julie commented that they started lining up just after 1 p.m. last summer, and they were first at the bar when it opened. Just to give you an idea, but like that could change, right? I mean, it just happened. That's how it worked that day for them. But
no, that's good.
So now, are you guys staying on site?
We are not. I mean, with a group like that, we rented a large house.
It's a good idea.
Well, I like that idea.
That many people.
We do like to stay on site. I love Art of Animation, and we did stay at Art of Animation last year, but since we're taking everyone, we're going to stay off site this time, save a little money and spend it at Trader Sam's.
With Sam's though, so if you're driving or if you have multiple cars, like they could be tough about letting you park there just for Sam's. So you might have to like come from like the Magic Kingdom area or whatever, and like hop on a monorail to get there or a boat. Just a FYI.
I have a large. We're bringing a large, like 15 passenger van. I think we're just going to park at the TTC and monorail in. It's an attraction in and of itself. So I think that
even from the TTC, you could even walk to the Polynesian from there too, though. But
Okay, sure.
This is going to be an epic trip. You're bringing the church van, and
I love that. I know, like Mike and I always joke about that because I always rent a vehicle on our trips, and Mike always wants me to get that so I can just haul around like our members of our running team and stuff.
Let's pick people up. Get in the van. We'll go.
Hop on in. There's plenty of room.
I love this idea. It's gonna be a fun 50th birthday. You got Mother's Day too, like with your 6 daughters, the sons-in-law. Like I love it. It's gonna be epic.
I'm telling you, 1973 was a good year. A lot of us celebrating a lot of big 50th birthdays this year. I'm here.
83 is a nice year too. I'm just saying.
No, I hear you. A lot of people celebrating 50th birthdays this year. I'm thinking. Yeah. I have one myself coming up this year later on. So.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. Okay, good for you. Yes. I think it's going to be good. I'm looking forward to my 50s.
Me too. My 40s. Hey man, I hadn't run a lick by the time I was in my, when I started my 40s, and that was my best decade. So who knows what the 50s have in store? Probably not as much running. I can tell you that much.
I don't know. I started running in my late 30s. I've done all the Disney races multiple times, and I thought I was done. I was nearing 50 and I thought I was done, but unfortunately I listened to this podcast too much. And so I've kind of got the bug again, and I've started back at it. So you never know, Mike.
Don't blame us.
Oh, I'm totally blaming you guys.
You should. I can no longer sneak up on anybody because when I come up the stairs, I sound like a popcorn machine. Just like my knees are shot. I've done too much, but no. Congratulations! So you guys gonna have an awesome trip, and you have to give us a call. Hopefully, from Trader Sam's next Sunday. At least when you get back, and let us know how it goes.
I'm selfishly going to ask though, like, do you have like an Instagram or something?
Thanks, guys, for the help.
Yeah. Do you have an Instagram or something? Like, I want to follow along. Like, I think this is going to be awesome. Like, with like like with the 11 adults almost.
It will be an epic trip, and I follow both of you, so I will comment or message both of you. That way, if I
Sounds good.
Anything fun, you'll
Please
be able to
do.
see it.
Please do. Well, hey, happy birthday early and have an awesome time and a safe trip down.
Thanks. Same to you, Mike.
All righty. We'll see you. Happy Mother's Day too, by the way.
Thanks so much. Have a good night, guys.
All right,
Appreciate
we'll see you
it.
later. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
That sounds awesome. Like,
I hope they get in.
Yeah. It's mostly, I mean, like they have the 3 like teenagers too. So, which is a Disney adult. So, I mean, they got a big group with, it's going to be, we'll get in the Trader Sam's.
With those teenagers, but they have the 3 older siblings. Like, they're pretty much like older kids.
Yeah. And with the Trader Sam's, like it might just be like the 3 teenagers just go outside, like let the adults in for Trader Sam's.
That is true. Like we can only get 6 people in. Well, beat it, kids. You got to go over to Captain Cook's.
Yeah, exactly. And the sons-in-laws will go with them too. Like just bring the daughters in.
Sorry, you guys don't make the cut. You're out. The dad's like, I like you guys, but I don't like you that much. That's what I would do. I'm like, we'll see you in 2 hours. Can't get you in. Well, good show, Scott. We had some fun just talking at the beginning of the show about the podcast cruise and our plans, but man, the callers came through in the end.
They sure did. Like you said, there's something about that when it gets 1:45, everyone's ready. Maybe they're finishing up dinner or what it is, or maybe like the algorithm is working where it's hitting people's feed. Like, I don't know, it worked.
Tried it. Okay. Last question real quick from Catherine here in the live chat for a rest day. Do you recommend staying at the Riv pool or going to a water park? Rest day would be a pool day. Especially if you're staying at the Riviera, right? If you really want to recover, because even though a water park that's a rest day too. I mean, considering how intense a park is.
But to me though, like you got to park, you got to walk up there and all that. You got to find a seat is challenging.
There's a lot of walking at a water park.
There is.
Seriously, like water parks, if you're like a slide person,
they can forget about it. There's nothing resting about that.
No, there's nothing. I mean,
me, Wade, and Emily and Hugh, man, we're like going slide after slide at Typhoon, man. I was like, I felt Wade and I were like, man, it feels like we're doing a marathon here. Like it was so tiring.
A water park's like boot camp. They're fun, but I think sometimes a water park is more taxing than going to like Epcot.
Yeah. And go to the quiet pool. I mean, it's weird at the Riviera. Like the pools are like right next to each other. So it's like weird calling one the quiet pool, but it is quieter. It doesn't have the slide and all that. I absolutely love that pool. So both are good though. So,
and it looks
and you got Bar Riva right there too. Like,
The Riviera did such a good job with that quiet pool too, because it just looks so inviting. Like when you're walking by like a Prima Piatto or just walking past, just passing through, you're just like, God, that pool looks so good.
Yeah. The hot tub there too. if it depending on how the weather is, you might want to indulge in that hot tub too. You never know.
All right, we're gonna have some great shows this week, so hope you'll join us. We'll have listener questions on Wednesday, and of course Friday we will have a roundtable discussion on a fun Disney topic. But of course, our shows are always brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. You know what to do. Swing by the website, themagicforless.com. We'd love to help you plan that next Walt Disney World, Disneyland, Disney Cruise Line, or Adventures by Disney trip. Swing by the site again, themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link when you shop online. It's over at brguestpodcast.com/Amazon. And thank you to our patrons who allow us to put these shows out 3 to 4 times a week, each and every week. And if you'd like to join us on Patreon and get that bonus show every week, it's called Mike in the Midwest. Coming over this week, we'd love to have you at patreon.com/BeOurGuestPodcast. Give Scott a follow on the social media. He is a great follow. Lots of fun over there on Instagram and Twitter at EpScott, EPSCOT. Do it now. Give me a follow as well at BeOurGuestMike. I would love to talk to you this week too. And of course, join us next Sunday night, 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central here on Facebook and YouTube. And we will talk to you and take your calls, and give us a call before quarter till next week, because that's the best part of the show, talking to you guys. But don't wait so long. Don't be shy. We don't bite. We just love talking to you. All right, we're going to jump out of here. Hope you have a great Sunday night or Thursday. If you're listening on the feed, we appreciate you so very much. It's always fun talking Disney with you. So for Scott, I'm Mike, wishing you a great Sunday or Thursday. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon. Oh. Check that
So-
out. And Julie says good night from Scotland.
That's awesome. So next Sunday is Mother's Day. I mean, it probably will work for me, but just a heads up, it is
Same.
Mother's Day.
Same. I don't think we're doing anything. Paige is actually home right now, and I don't.
But I mean, we might like go out to dinner. I mean, and dinner places can be crowded, so you never know. Like, but we'll most likely be able to. It just depends on how I work it out.
Sounds good to me. I get it.
Ooh,
right.
So everything worked good on your end then with the update
Yeah.
and all that.
It did.
Awesome.
Yeah. I might need. So Pam is already an administrator. So it said I had to add an administrator, so I added you.
Okay.
So I don't think Ricky. I don't know if Ricky's an administrator. Hopefully it'll work tomorrow. when we do the show. If not, I'll just text you because all you gotta do is like click a couple buttons. Because it's like a bug that says it got introduced, and like a second person has to like just click a couple things.
Interesting. But we didn't have to do it tonight though.
We
That's
have
weird.
to, so I don't know. Who knows?
Okay.
But
I mean, even if those two are recording, I should be at home like around the time you normally record anyway. So if you need me,
and on Wednesday I'm recording with a guest from Australia. So, but I've contacted her. We're setting it up, so it should be good.
So you're saying I might be on backup just in case.
Be on backup.
So Wednesday, it's like my boss's birthday, but dinner is from like 4 to 6. So I should be home like the time you normally record anyway.
Okay.
So,
But I mean, I've talked to her and I think we're okay, but I
Okay.
haven't heard back from her because I think when I emailed her, like it was probably the middle of the night. Like, I don't know.
yeah, like what time is it going to be when for
I'm saying,
her?
like, is it? I hope it's not the middle of the night for her. I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
I need to look at. That's one thing I was going to try to look
Crazy.
at. So I don't know. Well, I'll figure it out. We should be good.
It's amazing the reach you have on this show, though. You got like people from Australia
I know.
like recording with
The
you.
next 2 out of the 3 next weeks are guests from Australia. It's Australia, somebody from like Ohio, and then Australia, and they're different people. It's crazy.
The person from Ohio has some big pressure. They need to talk with an Australian accent. Is all I'm saying. Like,
Yeah, like you're just from Ohio.
yeah, they need to have an Australian accent or have like some like wallaby kangaroo like set up behind them.
You're from Missouri. Exciting Missouri.
Oh man.
All right. Well, have a good one. And
Thanks.
yeah, I'll talk to you. And
All right.
yeah, so if you do
I'm making ADRs tomorrow. Yeah. So
throw us on any, we don't care.
okay. Well, I'll tell you one I'm going for is Narcoossee's because it's right there.
We don't need that one.
Okay. Okay. Like I have to get
My
that one.
girls wouldn't go to that one.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
so-
All right.
Okay.
I'll look for some other ones. All
Yeah,
right.
the other ones, though, we'll go.
All right, sounds good.
All right, yo,
See ya.
look, Nicola's gonna go for the trifecta. Because she's down in Australia too.
Yes.
Look at
I
that.
love it.
Craziness. That is unbelievable.
Yeah.
That is wild. Okay, tell the girls to set
I
up.
will. All right. We'll see you.